What have you found has happened to your feet? Because you said you've been wearing those Vibrams for a year now, right? So have you noticed a difference in because for example, we wear Vivos. They're barefoot shoes, right?
Yeah.
Wider, minimal sole. Even Andrew has mentioned how he notices how his feet have gotten stronger.
Way stronger.
So how have you noticed, what kind of change have you noticed wearing the Vibrams? Because they're also pretty minimal type of shoes.
Oh, yeah. Big time. So I was wearing, I think I was wearing Adidas prior to this. Yeah. And my feet, I was just wearing normal shoes and my feet were always hurting. And I'm always on my feet because I'm training. I'm always standing and moving and all that stuff. And yeah, my feet, when I would go to bed, they would hurt. And when I would wake up, they would hurt. They would just hurt. And I was thinking, what is this? And so Seedman.
And you still hiked a lot, right?
Yeah.
You were still doing that?
Oh, yeah, I was still doing it, but I was wearing hiking shoes, big, thick soles. I was wearing Nike Trail Runner, the Horse Pass ones, which are great shoes for that sort of thing. I've completely shifted my mentality on feet. Just totally. The big thing that did it in for me was a combination of two things. Seedman had something, Dr. Joe Seedman, he was talking about this on one of the podcasts I heard him in, and Stick Mobility had they have a certification, and they were talking about NeuroDrive and how hands and feet, I mean, you know where I'm going with this. Hands and feet are the beginnings of that. And essentially, when we wear shoes, you're coddling that arch your entire life. You don't realize it. Your heel's up here and your toes down here. Well, why is that? That's wrong. That's not right. All shoe companies are designed for you to wear the shoes, wear them out. Your feet hurt, so you need more shoes, and you keep going, They're designed first and foremost as a product, not as they're not designed to make you a better person. Yep. They're designed to get you to buy more shoes, and they look cool. But what I have found is that now changing my mentality toward feet, as opposed to, I need to wear thicker shoes to keep my feet safe. No, now I'm doing the opposite. Now I'm going a minimalist way to strengthen my feet. I want to train through these problems as opposed to training around them. So that's what I have found. And I'll say this right out of the gate. You mentioned this because I do hike in Vibram. I do. I didn't do that in the beginning. And if anybody is making a transition from normal to minimalist shoes in any capacity, no matter what shoe it is, don't go run a marathon your first week doing this. Your feet are going to be sore for a month just from wearing them, not even exercising in them. And I didn't do hiking in my Vibrams for at least 60 days. I wore them. I got used to training in them. And then I realized wow, my feet don't hurt at all.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm ready to go. I'm fine because you're always in the same exact position all the time because your feet are barefoot pretty much. I mean, there is nothing on this. It's like, I don't know, a centimeter thick. Sole.
Have you ever tried Vivos or no?
No, I know about them. Again, I think that's the brand. I think that's who Seedman was talking about.
It is
because I've seen them on your
those too.
Yeah, they're wider, right?
Yeah,
they're wide and
they're literally like this.
Yeah.
So these are one of their trail running shoes. But I wear these out in the gym too. There's a lot. But literally they're super minimal. You can fucking
just bend them up into a ball.
Yeah, they're fucking sick. And Andrew, I think it's made the biggest difference for him than anybody else.
It's been huge. So it was funny because I walked on it yesterday, but the yellow bumpy caution things when you're walking on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay,
for the blind people.
Yeah. So I would walk on those with normal shoes and be ow, it would hurt. I'd have to be super light or even barefoot. In the kitchen, I'd be I gotta go get my slippers.
Yeah, in the kitchen,
dude. Now it's night and day difference. I've been wearing them for probably a little bit over 3 months now, but even before that, they've gotten so much stronger to where I can walk over rocks and shit and not really know. I notice, but I just feel it. It's no longer a owie, I hurt myself.
Yeah,
it's I had no idea that I had such weak feet. I knew they weren't strong.
Me too.
But I didn't think I was it was a detriment. I just thought it was that's just what happens when you get older.
And as somebody who, every single person in this room trains exceptionally hard, more than almost anybody else we know. To have this part on our body that is so important. Your feet, you're literally using them every single day, no matter what you do, and they all suck.
Yeah,
that is crazy. We've literally been sold a lie. It's a giant lie that we should be wearing shoes. Who in the world thought that was a good idea? It's crazy. But it has changed everything for me. Now, when I have noticed, first off, anatomically, my feet, I have noticed when I look at them, are thicker.
Yep.
My foot is actually thicker.
I thought I had a fat foot already. Like, yeah, it's made a difference.
I'm like, whoa, I'm noticing this. I'm not going to tell anybody. Till now on this massive podcast, I have bigger feet. Yeah. It got bigger when I stopped wearing shoes. Exactly. Like that. And now I have noticed that when I hike with them.
I mean, there's the pump, so maybe that's what I was thinking. It was working.
You know
it's a combination of the pump and the Vivo shoes made my. Whoa. This is amazing, guys.
But yeah.
The thing that I would advise trying, and this may be something that, y'all haven't done yet. I would love to try those for training. For hiking, having the independent fingers, I have noticed that I am actually able, this is whack, I'm able to grab rocks when I ruck. When I hike, my feet, and because I am going up the same exact trail that I did for my entire life. And I'm noticing that I am so much more sure on my feet because my toe, I can literally grab like I'm grabbing it with the independence of each one of those toes.
Yeah.
Now, could I do that in those? I don't know. They're both minimalist shoes, so it would certainly be better wearing those than just about anything else you could ever wear. But I love the independence of each toe because it allows me to do that.
You have a point. I know I can understand what you're talking about there. Yeah.
I think there is also, and don't quote me on this, but I think there is also some research to back that the individuality of each toe on the Vibram will help eliminate that. This inevitably happens to us as we get older, especially because we wear closed-toed shoes our whole lives. Toes will naturally, you ever see that? Like an old person's toes will cross over. I know that people I had a client with restless leg syndrome, wore these so his toes would not do that. So his toes would not cross over. So I think by wearing these, it will stop or at least slow the process of that potentially happening as you get older and as you age.
Yeah, well, like my son, it's been a while, but like he'll like just grab stuff with his feet. And then people are just like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And I'm like, I think we've all had that ability, but one day we caged our feet and we never let them out. Yeah. We lost the just dexterity, I guess I'll say. I don't think that's the right word, but
it is.
Yeah. So like he can do it just fine because he's never been in a shoe before.
He's always, and when we're kids, we're always barefoot. We run around barefoot all the time. And then again, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden you're like, hey man, you can't wear that into the boardroom. I'm like, oh really? Fine. All right. I guess I'll just never, I'll wear shoes for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Do you feel like when you're wearing these, it's like at any point in the day, I could just burst into a sprint.
Yep.
I just feel like it's not like with shoes. I don't know. It's like, okay, well, let me get on the elliptical for a little bit, and then maybe I'll be able to do some sprints. I feel like I could go and just sprint right now in the shoes.
Like even the shoes move. Like I still like my Jordans and shit like that. I'll wear those if I'm just trying to like have something stylish on.
Sure.
But if I'm walking, if I'm going to be on my feet, no, I want to be able to feel the ground and move. Like your feet feel stronger. You think about it. You're in the gym. Obviously, like producing force, you're trying to produce, like most people do have weak feet. Now you're trying to produce force through a weak base. Shit.
Yeah, and then my wife, she's not like super clumsy or anything, but when she's now wearing Vivo shoes all the time now, and same thing, she's like, she tried to put on like a regular thick-soled shoe, and she started like tripping all over the place. She's like, I had no idea how like uncoordinated I was with these thick-soled shoes. She's like, yeah, she got rid of them, and so now she's just wearing the Vivo barefoot shoes all everywhere.
Oh yeah, and if you're doing anything active, like hiking, basketball players, they roll their ankles, they hurt their knee. It's all the time, and it's all connected. Your feet, your knees, your hips, it all goes up. And starting down there, I mean, I'm somebody who, because I've always been so, outdoorsy and doing the hike and doing all that stuff, I've rolled my ankle. Shit, I've broke my foot 3 times. I've rolled my ankle, I don't know how many times. But since I started doing, like I mentioned, I started doing the work on the astronaut pad and doing all the tibialis stuff and working and doing the barefoot, like all together, I haven't had anything in a year. Like I haven't rolled my ankle once in a year. It's incredible. And it's so easy. No one knows it. Like, why is it? It's almost like not an accident. Like we don't know about it. It seems like it's been done on purpose. Nothing would surprise me.